top stories this evening, sponsored by Courts, bringing value home. Operation Gold Digger and the NIMBLE Mule. U.S. authorities provided some intelligence on local gold smugglers. Low rips into government as contractor revealed US $100 million spent to stabilize works at the GOV'T Energy project. Agriculture Month activities continue with Fisheries Symposium. GTU concerned about teachers' safety at New CAMPBELVILLE Secondary School. And in sport, SHAMAR Joseph set to travel to England for specialist treatment. HGP Nightly News begins now. Good evening to our viewers here in Guyana and online. I'm Travis Chase with the Wednesday, October 22 edition of the HGP Nightly News. We have what you need to know this evening. Operation Gold Digger. That's the name of a U.S. Federal Bureau of Investigation probe that reportedly identified an execrable gold dealer said to have close ties to the corridors of power as a major gold smuggler and money launderer. But that crucial information, it seems, never reached the Guyana Gold Board under the David Grange administration. The U.S. authorities, however, remain on the trail of that execrable businessman and his network. Here's more. It has been revealed by former chairman of the Guyana Gold Board, G.H.K. Lal, that during his tenure, agents from the Federal Bureau of Investigations held regular meetings with the Gold Board and other key local agencies. Lal said that during one of those meetings, the United States Embassy presented a dossier, a document containing the names of alleged gold smugglers and other suspected criminals.
They brought out a file twice the size of this. It had about 40 names and pictures inside. I didn't recognize any of those people. Gold smuggling, drug smuggling, different anti-money laundering. They had about 40 names and pictures in there of Guyanese.
That document, Nightly News understands, was part of an investigation launched by the FBI titled Operation Gold Digger. Sources say the classified report focused on the gold smuggling and money laundering operations of an execrable gold dealer, several Guyanese nationals, and more than 30 individuals living in the United States, all believed to be part of an extensive criminal network. Then there was another local initiative, Operation NIMBLE Mule, launched under the David Grange administration. Lal was asked about that operation.
Operation NIMBLE Mule was initiated under by President Granger, and it was spearheaded by, I think he's retired now, Brigadier General Bruce Lovell. And he shared some intelligence with us in terms that there is leakage going on. There are connections cross-border. But in terms of the identification, everybody had an opinion of that.
He explained that while the U.S. Embassy shared intelligence carefully, any high-level details about alleged smugglers or money launderers did not directly trickle down to the Gold Board.
It would be improper for us to sit down on gold smuggling intelligence and not share that. The fact of the matter is that gold smuggling intelligence really trickled down to us, the specifics of it.
Lal served as chairman of the Guyana Gold Board from March 2017 to February 2020 when his tenure ended. He has since responded sharply to Vice President Barra Jack Dio's instruction for the police to investigate all persons who may have colluded with the Mohammed's family in the alleged gold smuggling racket. Lal says he welcomes the investigation, but insists that the FBI must be involved if the government is serious about uncovering the full truth. Travis Chase, HGP Nightly News. The GOV'T Energy project, which is being touted as a game changer by the Irfan Ali-led administration, has come in for more flaking, this time from a local economist. Marvin Cato reports.
The failure to properly assess the soil at the whale site is especially egregious by the government, not just because it has cost 100 million US to remedy the soil, but because this site was specifically identified for further industrial development.
That was economist Elson Lowe, who commented on the recent revelation that the gas-to-energy project currently being constructed at Wales faced a 100 million US burden since the contracting company had to finance stabilization works at the site. It is important to note that the previous government had conducted a feasibility study at another site for the project. However, it was alleged that in its haste to play politics, the Irfan Ali-led People's Progressive Party civic government shelved that idea and proposed Wales as an alternative location.
Any government identifying a site for heavy industry needs to conduct a thorough evaluation so that investments in infrastructure are not wasted.
However, Lowe believes that with the recent revelation that the Pagas land is unstable to accommodate the weight of the turbines to be used to power the gas-to-energy project, and is pleading with the government to abandon the idea of any extended works at the site, since the land clearly cannot facilitate such mega projects unless it is reinforced by stabilization experts at an exorbitant cost to the taxpayers. Lowe again questioned government's motive behind its selection of that site.
The government chose this site to attempt to reward its support base in Region 3. But PP supporters in the region should note that the promised jobs and economic activity in the area is just a promise.
He also reminded that the gas-to-energy project is marred by delays, court battles, and mediation. The recent revelation that the stabilization process delayed the project by 14 months now pushes the possible completion of the project to late 2026.
A government that truly cares about the people of Region 3 would relocate the industrial park so that jobs are still created and repurpose the Wales estate lands to solar power.
The government has several developmental plans for the area, including a fertilizer plant, a second installment of the GTE. However, it is suggested by Lowe that the government should conduct a feasibility study to repurpose the remaining land at the Wales site for solar power generation.
It is difficult to imagine any successful industrial development zone where each factory must spend tens, if not hundreds of millions of US dollars on soil stabilization before even beginning construction.
He further noted that any further construction could saddle taxpayers with even more unnecessary debts. Marvin Cato reporting for HGP Nightly News.
Meanwhile, a lack of a feasibility study and the poor project management has resulted in consistent delays to the Wales gas-to-energy project. This is according to petroleum engineer and former director at the Environmental Protection Agency. Antonio Day will tell you more.
According to chairman of Linsica, Nelson Drake, $100 million were spent to stabilize the unstable soil at the Wales gas-to-energy project, situated along the west bank of the Marara. At the recently concluded international business conference held at the Guyana Marriott Hotel, Drake said that this has resulted in a significant delay of the project.
Usually, the civil work gets done, and they're waiting to get equipment. Today, over 75% of this equipment is in Georgetown. The turbines, the Hersigs, the BESS, all of it is in Georgetown.
Drake explained that he understands that everyone is expecting startup and citizens eagerly anticipating a reduction in their electricity bill. The process has to be understood. He highlighted that the project is at 68.3% completion, with 89% of the engineering done, 90.46% of the procurement done, but the construction completion is at only 23%. The Linsica director lamented the hurdle which has to be surmounted in order for the project to be completed in a timely manner.
The land over on that side of the river has a very rare mix of sands.
Drake said that there was liquefaction at the site, which meant it was not fit for construction.
The equipment that we're putting on the site is basically a gas process facility, which could easily become a bomb at any time if it's not done properly. And also, the Siemens turbine and the power island has to be perfectly aligned. There's no tolerance here for that land to move.
Meanwhile, petroleum engineer Dr. Vincent Adams, during a telephone interview with Nightly News on Tuesday, said that this is a result due to the absence of a feasibility study or environmental impact assessment, known as the EIA.
There was no environmental impact assessment done, which was sheer lawlessness. They did not even impact assessment for that project. So, because there was no planning, anytime you do a project, you have planning.
Dr. Adams, former director of the Environmental Protection Agency, EPA, pointedly highlighted that the environmental impact assessment conducted by ExxonMobil for the gas pipeline clearly stated that a separate environmental study would be required for the gas plants. He recalled that the government said that there would be no EIA for the project, but is now claiming that the U.S. Exim Bank not only conducted an EIA, but a feasibility study for the project. Dr. Adams noted that this project is falling apart due to poor project management.
You have to monitor, you have to measure the work. We do not have a clue. There's nobody that I know of in Guyana who knows how to measure work. There's a process called Earned Value Management System, VMS. It's the only process in the world that where you measure work definitively.
Antonio Day reporting for the HGP Nightly News.
This is the HGP Nightly News. Stay with us. There is more news ahead.
Make home yours every day with Courts. Everything you want. Make home yours anytime with Courts. Oh, yeah, 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 yeah. Oh, ooh, oh, oh. Get value for your money. Ooh, oh, oh. Courts have the best quality. Home is what you make it. Best prices and good credit. Oh. Courts have it all. Home is what you make it. Top brands, you're sure to get it all. Courts have it all.
Courts has what you need to make home yours. You can get it all with easy payment plans using Courts Ready Finance. Courts, make home yours.
Welcome to SNL Electrical Inc., where lighting and electrical needs are met with expertise and style. From the latest in electrical lamps to durable cables, circuit breakers, panels, we have it all. Illuminate your space with our elegant chandeliers, stunning crystal lights, and versatile pole lights. Looking to upgrade your comfort? Explore top-of-the-line AC units and our diverse selections of stylish styles. Visit us at 170-180 Thomas Street, Kitty, Georgetown. Discover a solution that not only lights up your world but transforms it. Call us on telephone number 226-3018 or 223-1634. SNL Electrical Inc., powering your life with elegance, quality, and care.
Right of way, like you're saying it in sunshine, stretch your legs. Sunshine? Look, forget I ask. You know you're not supposed to be on the right of way, Granny. But I am digging, building, burning, or planting. No horsing wrong, no horse riding, or nothing for doing horses. But sunshine? But you and sunshine get out the right of way. Sunshine, I'll be glad. Good.
Krishna Ralph Establishment. No job is too small or too large. We specialize in all types of fabricating machinery, excavator repairs, rice field pumps, and hydraulic hoses. Visit us at Lot 113, Block CC, Manripo, East Coast, and Marara, or call 220-96224-629-4021 or 619-7880. At Krishna Ralph Establishment, no job is too small or too large.
HGP Nightly News. Day 33 of the election fraud trial continued on Wednesday before Acting Chief Magistrate Faith Magusti at the Georgetown Magistrates Court, where a video interview of former Chief Election Officer Keith Lowenfield was played. Tiana Cole will tell you more.
The video interview with former Chief Election Officer Keith Lowenfield was played in court on Wednesday as the high-profile election fraud trial continued before Acting Chief Magistrate Faith Magusti. The interview, which lasted several hours, showed Lowenfield remaining mostly silent while being informed that the Guyana police force had taken over the investigation and where he was asked a series of questions. Defense attorney Nigel Hughes, who appeared on behalf of attorney U.C. Anderson, objected to the playing of another video interview involving Enrique Livon, arguing that Livon's attorney was asked to leave during that recording. The prosecution's witness, Detective Sergeant Alwyn Jones, testified that during 2020, he was attached to the Criminal Investigation Department, CID, at a crime laboratory, where he conducted several recorded interviews linked to the election probe. Jones told the court that on August 30, 2020, he was assigned to record an interview with Enrique Livon. On September 26, 2020, he recorded a video interview with Lowenfield and his attorney, Nigel Hughes, and on September 29, 2020, he did the same for Carol Smith Joseph in the presence of her lawyer. The matter is set to continue on Thursday. The charges stem from the disputed March 2020 general and regional elections, with several former officials of the Guyana Elections Commission, GCOM, and others accused of conspiring to rig the results. The defendants collectively face multiple conspiracy charges, and the prosecution has indicated plans to call approximately 73 witnesses before the trial concludes. Tiana Cole reporting for the HGP Nightly News.
The Fisheries Department of the Ministry of Agriculture and the University of Guyana's Faculty of Natural Sciences and Faculty of Agriculture and Forestry held the Fisheries Research Symposium in celebration of Agriculture Month. Marvin Cato will tell you more.
For example, let's take a very simple example in our region. We will commission very shortly what is called a tissue culture lab. That in itself will push cash crop to a different level.
That was Junior Minister of Agriculture Vikas Ramkisoon as he delivered the keynote presentation on behalf of the Minister of Agriculture. He said government is using modern technology as well as improving on facilities to bring about the needed change in the agricultural sector. The science of fisheries encompasses a wide range of activities, from assessing fish stocks and developing sustainable fishing practices to exploring aquaculture methods that can alleviate pressure on wild fisheries. Fishery scientists employ various techniques for population estimation and ecological risk assessment, ensuring that the management of aquatic resources balances biological sustainability with economic and social considerations, E-posited.
Or if you look at all the things that we are doing, currently we are working to have this food hub that will make Guyana the regional hub for food security.
The minister further expounded on the role Guyana is playing, reminding that food security is tied to fisheries. Historically, fisheries science evolved in response to the depletion of fish stocks due to the technological advancement in fishing practices, leading to a greater awareness of the need for effective resource management.
And so while contributing to the sustainable use of our marine and inland resources, the Ministry of Agriculture, the Fisheries Department, the government continues to implement strategic initiatives focusing on sustainability.
Participants were reminded that overfishing and environmental challenges continue to threaten aquatic ecosystems, and fisheries science plays a vital role in shaping policies and practices that promote conservation and sustainable use of ocean and freshwater resources. The field is also increasingly addressing the implications of climate change and the potential benefits of marine reserves and aquaculture innovations. Marvin Cato reporting for HGP Nightly News.
On HGP Nightly News, we tell you now that a man was killed and another rushed to hospital on Wednesday afternoon after they were attacked by a swarm of Africanized bees in Betafawakting on the east coast of Demerara. The dead man has been identified only as Fat Man. According to eyewitnesses, the group was working on a project along the roadway when one of the men shouted, "Bees." Moments later, everyone on the worksite reportedly jumped into a nearby trench in an effort to escape the swarm. One eyewitness said he believes the bees' nest was disturbed after a worker who attempted to clear a nearby plot of land lit a fire, triggering the attack. When this newscast visited the scene, police and medical personnel were present. HGP Nightly News will provide more details when information becomes available. There is still silence from the Ministry of Education on a developing matter at the new CAMPBELVILLE Secondary School. In the meantime, the Guyana Teachers Union says safety of teachers at that school is at serious risk. As the Ministry of Education remains mum on yet another disturbing incident at the new CAMPBELVILLE Secondary School, Guyana Teachers Union President Coretta MacDonald says urgent intervention is needed, given the school's troubling history of gang violence and indiscipline.
If you remember, maybe a year, 2 years ago, we had a whole lot of confusion happening here. Gangs barging into this school, harassing teachers, harassing students and all of that. There was an intervention. The union was part and parcel of that. And there was a bit of calm.
The GTU president told Nightly News that a closer look into the operations of New CAMPBELVILLE Secondary would reveal deep-rooted issues that have been ignored for far too long.
At this school, we have recognized that children are, the discipline is not there. And that is simply because there's a teacher's shortage, not because the teachers wanted to not be in school, but there's severe teacher shortage. There's shortage of furniture and a whole lot of breakdown in terms of the discipline between the school and the welfare department.
Currently, the GTU is waiting to see how the Ministry of Education will respond to a recent and deeply disturbing case in which male students allegedly used artificial intelligence to create pornographic videos of a female teacher and then shared it on social media. The same students reportedly went to the teacher's home and threw squibs, an act that has since been reported to the police.
And that was reported to the police. The police apparently, some of them, they don't know how to operate. They don't know what to do. And so from one buck to the other buck, they've been passing this matter.
The GTU president has also thrown out a public challenge to Education Minister Sonia Parag, urging her to confront the worsening safety and discipline crisis at the school.
And I'd be happy if you can come to this school and spend one day moving from class to class to class and to teach a subject. Whether you're going to do moral education, which would be the simplest of all, moral education with a grade 7, grade 8, grade 9, grade 10, grade 11, come here and sit for a day and you'll understand how teachers feel.
Up to press time Wednesday, the Public Relations Department of the Ministry of Education had not responded to calls or messages from Nightly News. Travis Chase, HGP Nightly News. Stay with us. You're watching the HGP Nightly News.
Planning a cleanup? We can help. Sevon's Waste Management skip bins can be provided for home renovation projects, yard cleanup, or construction project. It's simple. Step 1, give us a call. Step 2, we put down the bin. Step 3, load it up with all of your junk. Step 4, we take it away. That's simple. Bins are also available in various sizes, so there is no job that is too big or too small. Call Sevon's Waste Management today at 218-1455.
Make home yours every day with COTS. Everything you want. Make home yours anytime with COTS. Oh yeah, 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 yeah. Oh, ooh, oh, oh. Get value for your money. Ooh, oh, oh. COTS have the best quality. Home is what you make it. Best prices and good credit. Oh, COTS have it all. Home is what you make it. Top brands, you're sure to get it all. COTS have it all.
COTS has what you need to make home yours. You can get it all with easy payment plans using COTS Ready Finance. COTS, make home yours.
Granny, what are you doing on the right of way? Like you're saying let the sunshine stretch your legs. Sunshine? Look, forget I ask. You know you're not supposed to be on the right of way, Granny.
But I am digging, building, burning, or planting.
No horsing wrong, no horse riding, or nothing for doing horses.
But Sunshine,
But you and Sunshine get off the right of way.
Sunshine, a bit of that.
Good.
Oil and gas companies are investing $225 million to support women-owned businesses in Guyana. This means women who operate small and medium-sized enterprises will receive jobs, skills training, and assistance to improve their businesses when providing services. These investments are creating a more inclusive environment for all Guyanese to thrive. Since oil production started offshore, long-term investments have opened doors for Guyanese, shaping the industry and local economy for generations to come.
HGP Nightly News. In December, ExxonMobil Guyana Limited will conclude its most recent seismic data collection effort. This marks the end of several months of work to improve how the company produces and manages oil from the country's offshore reservoirs. Antonio Day reports.
President of ExxonMobil Guyana Limited, Alistair Routledge, said that the local oil conglomerate will conclude its most recent seismic data collection effort in December. This effort is part of a larger plan to better understand how fluids move underground, he told journalists recently at a press conference held at Exxon's new headquarters in Ogle, East Coast of Marara. The company is using advanced ocean bottom node technology to collect detailed 3D and 4D seismic data using small battery-powered pods.
Ocean bottom nodes. So we literally take these nodes, the pods that are around about this size, battery operated, we place them on the sea floors. It gives us a higher resolution 3D seismic imaging, which is especially important for those reservoirs that we're developing. Many of them have fairly thin beds of reservoir. It allows us better to navigate as we drill the wells.
He compares this process to getting an MRI in a hospital.
What that is all about is enabling us to look at the fluid movements in the reservoirs over time, being able to see, and it's a remarkable technology. It's like, think of an MRI.
He noted that this clear view helps engineers decide how much oil to extract from each well and when to switch to gas or water injection. Routledge highlighted that the technology also speeds up the analysis.
This is a process of calculations that used to take well over a year. We've now brought that down to a matter of a week or two. That's involving some wonderful technology that we've invested in our Houston office at the Spring campus.
Routledge mentioned that future seismic surveys will build on this year's work, helping ExxonMobil to improve its production strategies. ExxonMobil hired the Norwegian company Shearwater Geoservices to do a 6-month 4D ocean bottom node survey offshore in the Sabo block. The oil company has also contracted PGS for an earlier 4D seismic survey here, which also planning 5 more development projects, aiming for a production capacity of over 1.7 million barrels per day by 2030. Antonio Day reporting for the HGP Nightly News.
Plans are advancing for the construction of a modern oncology center in Guyana, an investment the government says will revolutionize how cancer is diagnosed and treated locally and across the Caribbean. Tiana Cole reports.
The Health Minister, Dr. Frank Anthony, said the new oncology center will provide comprehensive cancer care from early diagnosis and chemotherapy to advanced treatment options. He noted that the project is part of government's broader vision to strengthen Guyana's healthcare system and make cancer treatment more accessible. The announcement came as the Georgetown Public Hospital Corporation, GPHC, Oncology Department hosted a GOV'T Feel Better event on Wednesday in observance of Breast Cancer Awareness Month. Dr. Anthony said while raising awareness remains critical, bridging the gap between awareness and access to care is just as important.
We just can't talk about early diagnosis would make a difference. We have to ensure that we are doing earlier diagnosis. We have to ensure that we are practicing that. And we have to ensure that people understand that, because if they understand that, then they'll come earlier.
He revealed that government is already working with international partners on a detailed plan for the oncology center.
It would include chemotherapy, all the necessary things for the different types of cancer. To do the diagnosis, we'll have all the facilities to be able to do the diagnosis. And then for the treatment, we'll have some of the best equipment for the treatment.
Dr. Anthony emphasized that once the facility is completed, it will transform cancer care in Guyana and serve as a regional hub for treatment.
What we want when we build this center is that we see this center operating not just as a center for Guyana, but we see this offering treatment for many persons in the Caribbean.
Chief Executive Officer of GPHC, Dr. Robbie Rambarine, acknowledged that one of the immediate challenges facing oncology department is the limited waiting area for patients. However, he assured that work is being done to improve conditions.
Our demands for the care has exceeds our capacity, and that's why we had to put an alternative waiting area outside. But there is a plan to build right to the side of the building there a waiting area that is with the facilities, air conditioning, and so that when you come here, you can be a bit more comfort.
He added that the hospital is investing heavily to continue improving oncology care.
We're buying more expensive medications. We spend hundreds of millions of dollars in medicines for oncology care.
Breast cancer remains the most common cancer among women in Guyana, followed by cervical cancer, while prostate cancer continues to be the leading form among men. Tiana Co reporting for the HGP Nightly News.
Stay tuned for your regional news.
Live the island dream. It's your chance to be one of over 100 winners in the Island Dream promotion. Win your share of more than $1 million in cash and prizes. Plus 2 all-inclusive weekend staycations for 2. And that's not all. Score coolers packed with Buster, Turbo, Altitude, and Viva. Just buy any can or bottle of Turbo, Buster, Altitude, or Viva. Find the code starting with BB. Then visit at Buster Guyana or Turbo_Caribbean on IG or Facebook for details. Live the island dream, get money. Live the island dream.
Life is full of beautiful moments, but did you know that everyday activities can expose you and your loved ones to harmful worms? From playing in the dirt to cuddling with pets, even eating unwashed fruits and vegetables. These common activities can cause worm infestation. Intestinal worm infections can cause nausea, fatigue, bloating, or even stomach pains. Dr. Sentinel has the remedy for you. Use worm medicine to prevent infections and to rid your family of these pests. Check your nearest pharmacy for Leland with pack sizes suitable for families large and small. Just a single dose after a meal treats common worms. Protect your family with Leland so you can focus on what truly matters, making memories. Distributed by Massey Distribution, Guyana Limited.
So yeah, I was watching the game last night.
Oh gosh, is this Valerie people again?
Hello everyone.
Hello.
I'm with the Ministry of Health, here to distribute our annual Filaria tablets.
So wait, because every year y'all share these tablets?
Why so often?
That's a very good question. Filaria is spread in mosquitoes, and the worm could live inside you for many years. Taking the tablet once is not enough to stop them. That's why the program provides them every year to break the cycle of transmission.
So how come people still get Bigfoot and Goody after taking this pill? Yeah.
The Bigfoot and the Goody is not caused by the tablets. It's the disease itself. See, filaria, it actually damages the lymphatic system over time, which causes scrotal swelling and Bigfoot. The pills actually prevent that by stopping the worms before they cause permanent damage.
Oh.
So it's really about all of us?
Not just one person?
Exactly. By each person taking their dose, we move closer to eliminating filaria from Guyana.
Alright, well, we'll take ours today.
Yeah, I think that's the right thing to do. We'll take ours.
Remember, everyone in your household needs to take the tablet too. That's how we protect families and our whole community.
We are talking about filaria gonna get knocked out. TKO.
Good evening and welcome to Wednesday's edition of the Regional News. Tropical storm Melissa dumped heavy rain on Hispaniola as forecasters warned Wednesday of a significant flood risk in parts of the Caribbean region in the coming days. The rains disrupted traffic in the Dominican Republic's capital, Santo Domingo, and games in the country's professional baseball league were cancelled. People in Haiti grew concerned over the possibility of heavy flooding, which has devastated the country during past storms, given widespread erosion. Melissa had maximum sustained winds of 50 miles per hour, mph, early Wednesday, and was centered about 325 miles southwest of Port-au-Prince, Haiti, the U.S. National Hurricane Center in Miami said. It was moving west at 12 miles per hour. A hurricane watch was in effect for southern Haiti, while Jamaica was under a tropical storm watch. Prime Minister Kamala Persad-Bissessar says if CARICOM wants to work with this country, then Caribbean community nations should work together to address the growing number of Venezuelan migrants in the region and to press Caracas to take back its citizens currently detained in Trinidad and Tobago. Our comments come amid diplomatic friction not only with Caracas, but also within CARICOM, following criticism of TT's position on regional security and migration. On Sunday, Persad-Bissessar dismissed concerns that the country could lose regional backing for its bid to sit on the United Nations Security Council, saying she was unmoved by the possibility of the Caribbean community states withdrawing their support. The report quoted regional sources as saying some CARICOM leaders were unhappy with TT's stance, which diverged from regional consensus, reaffirming the Caribbean as a zone of peace. Last month, Persad-Bissessar accused the Venezuelan government of stalling the repatriation of about 200 Venezuelan nationals detained for criminal activity in Trinidad and Tobago. She said cooperation from Caracas on repatriation, drugs, armed, and human trafficking would be a good place to start in improving relations. The opposition has walked out of Parliament after accusing House Speaker Juliette Holness of preventing members from asking questions of Water and Environment Minister Matthew Samunda. Samunda made a statement to the House Tuesday afternoon, updating the public on Tropical Storm Melissa and the preparations being undertaken by the government. Opposition MP for St. Mary's Southeastern Christopher Brown sought to ask Samunda about previous landslides and outstanding payments to contractors, but faced pushback from Holness and some government MPs. They argued that he was asking questions unrelated to Samunda's statement and not in keeping with Parliament's standing orders. Each time Brown attempted to ask the question, his microphone was cut off, and he was reminded by Holness to observe the standing orders. Opposition members came to his defense. Julian Robinson, who also attempted to ask a question of Samunda, was stopped in his tracks, and his microphone was cut off. Opposition MPs, including Opposition Leader Mark Golden, disagreed with Holness and pressed for questions to be put to Samunda. However, Holness would not relent, reiterating that the questions were not in keeping with the standing orders and would not be allowed. Golden and other opposition MPs accused Holness of unfairly shutting down members on their side, and they walked out of the House. Thank you for watching. I am Tiana Cole.
Delwyn Neblet is up next with HGP's Sports Pulse.
Good evening, Guyana. I'm Delwyn Neblet with your HGP TV Sports Pulse for today, Wednesday, October 22nd, 2025. We begin tonight with horse racing. Slingers Racing Stables Pride and Joy Gallo White turned in a commanding performance at the 41st Grand Premier Latin American Cup at the famed GOV'T racecourse in Rio de Janeiro, Brazil, reaffirming Guyana's presence on the South American horse racing stage. Representing the Virgin Nugent-based powerhouse, Gallo White went stride for stride with some of the region's best in the João Borges Philo Grand Prix, Haras Rio Iguaçu G2, finishing a strong second after being narrowly edged by Tyrion, despite leading the pack for most of the race. Into cycling in honor of the late John Chesdock Anderson, Barry Massey Jr., George Speedy Binning, and Michael Brother Mike Sampson, the second Trifecta Memorial event hosted by the Flying Star Cycling Club was held in Linden on Monday. Brighton John of the United We Stand Cycling Club prevailed in the elite class 15-lap criterium road race, claiming a comfortable victory on the Amelia's Ward circuit and securing the top cash prizes on offer. Aaron Newton of KFC Evolution finished second, while Marcus Kyler of Kaitro Attack placed third. In the Masters 40-plus 10-lap race, Saigon Herbert of KFC Evolution secured victory, as Kwame Ridley of Kaitro Attack was second and Richard Lewis of Continental Cycling Club finished third. The junior 10-lap race was won by Alex Newton of KFC Evolution, with Alexander Leong of Continental placing second and Ajani Cutting of Kaitro Attack third. In the Masters over 50 category, Ian Jackson of Flying Stars finished first, followed by Mark Stevens of KFC Evolution in second and Jolyn Joseph of Linden in third. The category forward 10-lap event went to Julio Melville of Kaitro Attack, with teammates Mark Sinclair and Kwame Fortune finishing second and third respectively. The juvenile 3-lap race was won by Kevin Stevens of Linden ahead of Danish Sukai of Flying Ace. In the ladies 3-lap race, Abigail Jeffrey of Continental took first place, beating Ashley Rutherford of Flying Stars. Into football, action resumed tonight in the Guyana Football Federation's Division 1 Women's League 2025 with 2 fixtures at the National Training Center in Providence. The first match featured the Guyana Defence Force versus Anns Grove United, while the second match currently underway features Western Tigers versus the Mainstay Gold Stars. Moving into cricket, the latest action in the NBS Second Division 40 Overs tournament produced a thrilling victory for MYO over GDF at the DCC ground in Queenstown. Batting first, MYO posted a good total of 300 as Damian Cecil top scored with a confident 61 and Ricky Dibidial scored an even 50 before being forced to retire. Rashad Ghafoor and Shamal Angel each picked up 2 wickets for the Guyana Defence Force. In response, GDF were bowled out for 292 with 3 deliveries remaining. Despite a brilliant century from Shamal Angel, who scored 140 from 86 and 48 from 35 from the captain Michael Dionrine, MYO would secure the 8-run victory on the back of some good bowling from Gaurav Ramesh, who took 3 for 51, as Kelvin Umrao and Damian Cecil each picked up 2 wickets in MYO's well-deserved victory. More in cricket, the West Indies senior men's side will take on Bangladesh in the 3rd and final ODI at the Sherry Bangala International Cricket Stadium in Dhaka at 3:30 tomorrow. The Windies lost the first match by a margin of 74 runs, but managed to keep the series alive after securing a tense 1-run victory in the second match, which was decided by a super over. The Windies will now be hunting a series victory to follow up the most recent series win, which came against Pakistan with a 2-1 triumph in August. Meanwhile, Guyanese Shamar Joseph is set to travel to England for specialist treatment after reporting discomfort in his shoulder during a training session ahead of the opening ODI of the Bangladesh series. The injury, which was sustained while representing the Guyana Amazon Warriors in this year's Caribbean Premier League, has kept Joseph out of action since then. A statement from Cricket West Indies confirmed that following scans, he has been advised to consult a specialist in England to begin a rehabilitation process. That's it for this edition of the HGP TV Sports Pulse. I'm Delwyn Neblett reminding you to stay in the game.
Operation Gold Digger and NIMBLE Mule. U.S. provided some intelligence on local gold smugglers. Low rips into government as contractor revealed U.S. $100 million spent to stabilize works at the GOV'T Energy Project. Agriculture Month activities continue with Fisheries Symposium. GTU concerned about teachers' safety at the new CAMPBELVILLE Secondary School. And in sport, Shamar Joseph set to travel to England for a specialist treatment. Those are our major headlines. For these stories and more, please go to our website. It's www.hgptv.com. I'm Travis Chase. Thanks for watching. Goodbye.